Let's talk about hypocrisy, not the everyday kind, but the elite political kind that wears moral superiority like a badge while living by a completely different set of rules. Zohran Mamdani, the newly elected socialist mayor of New York, just jetted off to a luxury 17-acre resort in Puerto Rico for a Democrat conference, days after winning on a campaign that vilified capitalism, privilege, and the so-called elite. Let that sink in. The man who claims to fight for the working class is sipping cocktails by the ocean, surrounded by the very establishment power players he claims to despise. This is not just hypocrisy, it's a pattern, a repeated contradiction within the modern socialist movement. Communism for thee, capitalism for me. But this story also connects to something bigger happening in New York politics. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik stepping up to challenge the governor next year. And that's significant because it tells us that people of New York, outside of the Manhattan echo chamber, are fed up with overtaxation, high crime, performative politics, and now with this open hypocrisy. Let's play the clip and then I'll break this down.
Back, that's the communism for thee, but not for me, communists. AOC and Zohran Mamdani. Cadillac Communism Mamdani just jetted off to a luxury 17-acre hotel resort in Puerto Rico on the beach for a swanky Democrat conference. It's got 9 restaurants, oceanfront pools, tennis courts, a spa. This is just days after he won the mayoral race in New York City. So is Mamdani going to nationalize its swimming pool? Put price controls on the cocktails by the pool? Fox News contributor Joe Contra joins us. Joe, when you heard this, what was your take? Because is he going to declare his hotel bill a capitalist construct and not pay it?
Oh, probably, Liz. Thanks for having me. Happy Friday. I mean, this guy, Liz, is as phony as a $3 bill. His entire campaign was based on victimhood, except that this is a person of privilege. His family in Uganda, which is otherwise a mostly poor country, well, he got married at a multi-million-dollar estate there, complete with private security, just earlier this year. He lives in a rent-controlled apartment despite not needing one whatsoever, or at least qualifying for one, considering that his parents are loaded, and he was making about $150,000 a year as an assemblyman. So, again, I love the fact you played that quote. We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about. I mean, that is socialism on steroids, and you're right, Cadillac Communism, where, hey, don't worry, I'll stay at the swanky place while you will not, because I am a person of privilege and I'm an elitist, and that's Zohran Mamdani, not the victim that he portrays himself to be.
So let's turn to this. What do you make of this? Will this rescue New York City? What do you make of Republican Congresswoman Elise Stefanik announcing she will run to be New York's governor next year? Can you put this all together for us?
Sure. Well, upstate New York is a lot different than New York City, obviously, very blue. And Elise Stefanik, she is a firecracker. She is somebody who absolutely will give Kathy Hochul everything she can handle as far as that governor's race. Remember, Lee Zeldin came within a couple points when he ran a couple of years ago. And now we've gotten more of Kathy Hochul. New Yorkers do not like her very much. And Elise Stefanik, in polls that we've seen, is neck and neck with her already, even before she's really been campaigning. So, yeah, New York City may go to the communists, but the rest of the state is not very happy with the way New York's being run by basically one-party rule right now.
Yeah, and it's Albany. It's the state legislature, not Mamdani, not the city council who gets to sign off and approve tax hikes in New York City. So this, Zohran Mamdani, AOC, Bernie Sanders, they are not telling the truth to Americans. The U.S. the government already runs 80 up to 100 socialist programs in the federal government. Let's go through it. The U.S. is $38 trillion in debt. Wow. We've got Medicare, Social Security, unfunded liabilities now at $80 trillion combined over 75 years. That's separate from the $38 trillion. Over $900 billion spent annually on federal and local Medicaid. The federal safety net, socialist spending, now makes up about 2/3 of total federal outlays. When combined with state and local, the U.S. spends over $2 trillion a year on social welfare, socialism in total. You know, Joe, that's about the size of the entire U.S. discretionary budget. So we already have socialist features, socialism in the U.S. government.
Oh, completely. And once you give somebody an entitlement, Liz, I think Charles Krauthammer said this, it's almost impossible to take it back. So once you give them Medicare and Obamacare and you start giving illegals health care, hard to put that toothpaste back in the bottle. So Bernie Sanders even wants more socialism. Mamdani does. AOC, who could be the Democratic nominee, wants to go in that direction as well. We simply cannot afford this anymore. And I would hope that, again, New York City, Chicago, Seattle, Minneapolis, you can elect a socialist, but nationally in swing states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, they're not going to buy this whatsoever.
You know, Joe, you're great on the media. We just wish the media would cover this correctly. We just wish the people, the pundits out there would cover what...
Okay, first, let's call this what it is. Luxury socialism. When a man who claims to be a voice for the working class flies to a beachfront resort with 9 restaurants, oceanfront pools, tennis courts, and a spa, that's not activism. That's indulgence wrapped in revolutionary branding. Zohran Mamdani's public persona is built on resentment politics, painting wealth as evil, success as exploitation, and the rich as the enemy. Yet, the first chance he gets, he does exactly what the rich do. He campaigns against the system by enjoying the system and expects working-class New Yorkers to applaud him for it. It's the same story we've seen from self-proclaimed socialists across the country. They preach sacrifice but live in comfort. They condemn luxury but crave it privately. It's the classic Cadillac Communist playbook. Wealth redistribution for everyone else, but premium privileges for themselves. Oh, and let's not forget, Mamdani's background isn't some struggling underdog story. His family has wealth. His wedding in Uganda took place on a multi-million-dollar estate guarded by private security. He lives in a rent-controlled apartment while making over $150,000 a year, blocking access for families who actually need affordable housing. How is that for economic justice? And here is the bigger picture. This isn't just about Mamdani. It's about the culture of deceit that defines far-left politics right now. They sell utopian fantasies, free housing, free healthcare, cancel rent, cancel death, all paid for by an imaginary villain called the rich. It's a message designed not for the rational voter, but for the resentful one. The disillusioned, the nihilistic, the low information voter who doesn't ask how things get paid for, only that they sound emotionally righteous. And when you mix that cocktail of resentment and ignorance, you get leaders like Mamdani, activists who weaponize idealism while living off the comfort of the very capitalism they despise. Now here is the Elise Stefanik factor. Elise Stefanik, a sharp, disciplined, policy-focused Republican who is poised to challenge Kathy Hochul next year. If Stefanik runs a message that connects with working New Yorkers on affordability, crime, and competence, she could very well flip the governor's seat. Why? Because people are waking up. Even traditional Democrats are realizing that these far-left experiments are destroying their cities. New York doesn't need a Marxist mayor. It needs a manager, someone who can make the city livable again, not someone who turns it into a moral theater for Twitter applause. So let's be honest, Mamdani's trip to Puerto Rico isn't just a bad look. It's a symbol of the growing chasm between what these self-styled revolutionaries say and what they do. They speak for the people, while vacationing at resorts the people could never afford. They decry capitalism while living comfortably off its rewards. They preach humility but practice entitlement. And that's not leadership. That's performance art, with working Americans footing the bill. New York deserves better, America deserves better, and sooner or later, voters will realize that real change doesn't come from utopian promises. It comes from accountability, honesty, and consistency.